Hey guys, happy Friday again. How's it going? Hope you had a good week. I got a little bit sick on Sunday evening, and I'm finally recovered. So I didn't again do too much, but all good. Did do some work on the platform. Well, mainly the developers, but I keep an eye on them, right? So I'm running here in. Well, you can see in a bit. I'm running a new version, a little bit of a UI update, with something that you might look familiar. and yeah, but yeah. So let's talk about order flow again, right? It stays a pretty interesting subject, I'd say. And I can talk for hours about it. I can talk the whole day if I need to about order flow and trading. But yeah, first let me know how was your week, guys? Like, what's up? How's it going? Is it cold where you guys are as well? Because here suddenly it got very, very cold. I'm like, what's this? That's not why I emigrated, right? So yeah, it's pretty boring week weather-wise, at least. Cool. So yeah, let me get started with like who's using order flow right now, and if you're using it, like how long are you using it? Many years? You just got started? Like, what's your journey like? Because for me, like I've been trading for almost 17 years. So 17 years in May, and wow, the weather here is interesting. It's a storm, I think. Actually, we got a text message, like a warning, like Storm Ingrid is coming. I'm like, Ingrid, like, okay, interesting. But yeah, if the electricity goes out, guys, it's not me, okay? Anyway, interesting. Yeah, I mean, cool. Let's get it. That's what I'm here for. Happy to answer all the questions you have. Wow, the weather is really intense. I hope you guys cannot hear that. It's raining a lot. Basics, yeah. Cool. CFD. New to futures. Cool. Well, I think that's a good choice. Yeah. I think that's a good choice over CFDs. Yeah, snow. Yeah, there was snow in the Netherlands where I'm originally from, but like here, luckily not. But I don't know, it's not far off now, I guess. But yeah, cold in New York. Yeah. I visited once in I think it was December, and I was like, why did I visit New York in December? I don't know what the reasoning was. Yeah, looking to learn more about order flow. Yeah, cool, guys. Especially if you never used it, I think it's super interesting. When I started with order flow, and I think, I don't remember. It was like, I don't know. It's probably pretty early in my career. I think a couple of years in, I discovered it. So it must have been like 14 years ago, maybe. I think 14 years ago. Jesus. Yeah, something like that. Never. Okay, cool. Well, then you're at the right spot. Listening on them. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Don't trade live with it right away, for sure. No, this is DeltaTrader. Yeah, this is the platform that I developed the last 6 years now. What is it? Time flies, guys. And so, like, I don't know if you guys have the same, but after COVID, like all the years, when was what? I have no clue. It's all a blur. So it could be 5 years ago, it could be 10 years ago. For me, it's really all the same. I'm like, when was it? I don't know. I just know when I started trading, because I know it was May 09, right? So it was like, sorry, May it's really 17 years ago, and it's yeah. So that's my reference point. But for the rest, oh, man. Hey, how's it going? Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah. So this regarding NQ, what are the best parameters for footprint? So I don't know the best. I solely trade ES, and that's all I do. I just trade ES. So I have NQ on most of the time, but just as a 1 minute chart, just as reference point. But I don't really use it for the footprint chart. And what I would do is probably just check it out and then have maybe the ES next to it, so you have like them both footprint charts, and then just kind of compare like with the swings of the NQ where it makes the most sense to put in the footprint chart. Because like so on top of that, I'm using a reversal bar, right? So I don't use time-based bars. So yeah, so example here, like this setting, it says like 16 RB, a 16 tick reversal bar. And no, this is DeltaTrader, guys. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think my picture is in front of the branding. So maybe if you can put my webcam in the middle of on the left, Raj, would be better. But anyway, so I would say just trial and error, and that's kind of how I did it too. And then you find your preference, and it also depends on with reversal bars, because it's movement based, right? So it's not like based on time; it's based on how the market moves. And so in that sense, like, it depends on volatility as well. So it depends on the instrument that you trade, and it depends on the volatility of the market. So in this case, or this week at least, I use a 16 tick reversal on the ES, and the NQ moves a lot more. So I would say check out at least 32, like double, I'd say, and then see if it makes sense with the swings that it does. If you can still see enough bars forming, and if it's too condensed, like if you have one bar, then then it doesn't make sense. Then you need to go lower. And if it's still too many bars that that doesn't condense enough volume so it makes sense, then you go higher, you go to 40 or whatever like that. So it's like trial and error. So for me, I know, because I trade ES for like 16 years. I know where I'm looking at. I know the settings that I need. So I'm not playing with the settings anymore. I just change them depending on volatility. And yeah, 16 ticks. A couple of years ago, I was using an 8 tick probably. So right. So yeah. So that used to be my main chart. 12 ticks and then 8 ticks. And 10 years ago, it was even a 4 tick. Yeah, so the market has changed a lot. The volatility has changed a lot. The volume has changed a lot. So you have to adjust your charts and your view also of the market, but with how the market moves. So yeah, I hope this way too long answer helps. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I might not even have to do that live. Maybe we can do that. I make like a 10-part series of how to set it up first. So explain it, how to look at order flow a little bit. Yeah, I think that could be cool. But yeah, good idea. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yes, it's for gentlemen. Well, or you've been burned too many times by the NQ or anything else that moves like that. So for me, always the ESS being like, the how you say that? I don't know how you say that. Like the nice kid, not like super crazy. But even lately, it moves so much, guys. Like it's like if you've been only around for a year or two, then you have no idea how it was 10 years ago. It's so different. But yeah, anyway, enjoy the ride. Yeah, so this is DeltaTrader, and you can see it on the top left. I think they didn't even exist when we started developing, but I'm not sure if there's a giveaway. Did they respond already? I'm not sure. We did it last week already. No, did we do it last week? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure. Regardless, we could do a giveaway. I can do some. I can do a giveaway with a coaching session, like we did last week, which I had to reschedule. Sorry for that. I got sick on Monday or Sunday, so I had to reschedule that. What else, guys? Coming soon. What do you think on a short on this? I usually trade just the first hour of the day. So I don't have a really good opinion on it right now. And this is also Fridays. I don't like to trade Fridays unless there's a really, really, really good setup. I might look at it and then trade only maybe one account from like 25 total, something like that, and then or two, but really reduce risk, and then try to build that over the weeks. Look at my stats and then see how just Friday did, and if that is going better, gradually, then I can build it up again. But in general, I don't like to trade on Fridays. Today was a little bit good though, so I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, okay, this is a really good setup. So I went. So I got, I saw some long setups, but anyway. But right now I don't see a short really. If anything, they should push for higher highs, right? I mean, it's Friday. People were, short-minded, I think. Yeah, might as well, squeeze it higher, I'd say, but I don't know. Like I said, Fridays are not my favorite day of the day to trade. And I'm very short term, guys. So like the next 5 minutes could be different. My opinion could be different. So, like that setup. Yeah. Thank you. I like it too. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So for a beginner using Footprint, do you recommend starting with ES or NQ? I would definitely recommend ES. One, because it has more volume condensed trading, so the volume profiles are a little bit more clear. ES is NQ is very volatile, like very much more so than ES. So the ES is I was gonna say forgiving. I'm not sure if it's forgiving, but in general, I think micro. You start out with micro or paper, of course, paper trading first, and then start with micro trading with ES. I think that's the way to go. I wouldn't go to NQ. I know a lot of people are trading NQ, so sorry about that. I think NQ is oh man, to me it's like it's so crazy. I can't. It's just like, yeah, I think my heart rate wouldn't be able to deal with that. Yeah. Thank you for teaching us that. Why Mr. Boomer? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could say that maybe. I don't know. Just I don't know. Too many people trading. NQ lately. I mean, I get it because it moves a lot more, so it's like you get more. So when it runs, it really runs, and you can make a lot of money. It's just like risk-wise, I don't know if this is the best idea. I don't personally don't think so, but yeah, who am I to argue if you're making a profit? So yeah. No, I don't think so. They don't have fruit punch charts. They have maybe some minor volume profile things, but it's not really accurate data. It's not pure tick data. So no, not really. Their data cannot do that, unfortunately. No, just on a high level they can show it, but it's not pure tick data. It's like aggregated data. Yeah. Hey, nice to see you. Yeah, bom dia. Yeah, happy Friday. Thank you. And Q is the toxic relationship you can keep going back to. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. So, like I said, like if it works for you, like keep doing it, right? But oh man, if you want to learn this stuff, I mean, yeah, I can't. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's a lot. Do you use things like volume clusters or stacked imbalances to find trading levels? Yes, I do. Yeah, that's one part of it for sure. Yeah, volume clusters, HVNs, LVNs, VPSCs, previous VPSCs, developing VPSCs, imbalances as well, because it's usually LVNs, right, or micro LVNs. Yeah, for sure, that's a big part of what I'm looking for. No. I never recommend trading NQ, but I would recommend trading in general just when the market opens. I don't think there's much of an advantage normally reading order flow when in the pre-market. There are some edge cases that are different, and especially maybe around news or things like that. In some cases, you can read order flow a little bit more clear in the overnight, especially like iceberg orders. They're super clear. There are also not that many, so I wouldn't recommend it. Probably no. Yeah, if you're gonna test it out, I probably would leave that alone. Yeah, and just trade the normal cash hours. That's where the most volume happens, right? So that's kind of when you want to read volume, right, on order flow. And if you're looking at order flow, it has less meaning when it's low volume, right? So in that sense, you always want to pick a period with the highest volume. Yeah. Any gold traders around? I don't know, not me. Yeah. Yeah, so we're actively working on creating those. There's a general video online with walks through everything, but we are starting to put out more specific videos about it, and you can find them and the rest. Well, or on our YouTube channel, at DeltaTrader app, or at support@deltatrader.com. You can find some more. Oh yeah, you broke up. Yeah, I think that's a good. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, is it possible to trade overnight in Asia sessions and then QE? You can. Sure. It's like almost open 24, right? 24 hours a day. So you can, but I wouldn't recommend it, and especially like where are you going to put your risk, right? So the book is empty, even more empty and unqueued in overnight than during a day. So if you're going to stop out, you're probably going to have a lot of slippage, even more so than during the day. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I think it's a bad idea, but it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. What are the best reversal setups on the footprint? On the footprint. Yeah. So, okay. So best reversal setup on the footprint. So I'd say, let me see. Let me try to. Let's say retest of volume buildups, like this one here, even a little VPOC from this move up, and the retest here is when to that, right? When to that point. Well, there's a little bit more volume, so let's say VPC is here-ish, something like that, there, that area. And it reacted on that, and that's something that I look at. So I would say that's a good one. Yeah. And what else? I mean, reversal setups. Yeah, I would say that's a big one. Yeah, today for the rest was mainly context-based for me. It was holding below the VWAP. So that's a big reference point for me as well, VWAP. And when it broke, you can try and see if it's gonna try to hold from the upside instead of from below. So I would say that is for me. Keep in mind it's for me, right? It doesn't mean that it's gonna be work for you as well, right? So keep that in mind. But yeah, so for me it's usually retests to previous VPOCs or HVNs, things like that. And especially when you look at the previous day, so like for here, like you have settlement and with the huge volume, and that's usually worth a reaction, even if you think it's going higher, which I thought from here, I would short into it because I just expect a reaction, right? So let's say if you're gonna, well, here you can see it clear, right? This is the volume from yesterday, previous. This whole cluster should be tested, and then in my opinion it's then likely to get a reaction because it went lower. We went lower, pre-market. We have people that didn't have a chance yet to get out. So what will you do when it comes back to you after it went lower, right? So you think like, oh, okay, so first chance you get to get out, what would you do? And I would say like, well, I probably would either rebalance, get some size off before I get some more size on, maybe go flat, and those things they makes the market react to it, and that's what you see normally around settlement, or at least around the edge of the volume that traded around settlement, right? Because that's the most volume from yesterday. So in that sense, you get a reaction here, and then it went back to the VWAP. So that would be a really good short. That makes sense with context, right? Yeah, so things like, but there's more. Yeah. Does DeltaTrader show passive orders like? No, so you can just, you can look at personally, I think it's a little bit overrated because you can see them in the order book, right? So there's a histogram here. You can already see that if it was bookmap, you can see a little order here. You can see a little bigger order here. Yeah, so you can even mark those if you want, in the book. There's one here. Where is it? 66. But it's, for me, it doesn't do much. See that. I want to see what actual trades and not who's like pretending to trade. And if there's a big order, I see it anyway as soon as they're approaching. And even if the thing is, if they don't want you to see it, you won't see it. So they will just put it in an iceberg order, and you would never see it until it gets executed. So, like, I don't know. It's a little bit double to me. Like, if it matters or not. For my own trading, it didn't help, so I stopped looking at it. But yeah, I mean, people who watch me before, they know I've done webinars for Bookmap years ago. I've used it, sure, and I can see some value in it. But for me, it wasn't enough to really, set and look for it that much. Yeah, I can see it anyway in the histogram, because that's real time, right? So like the ones that Bookmap shows are historical, because the real time orders everyone can see anyway, right? So Bookmap also only shows you the historical values, so you can see if someone is canceling beforehand. Yeah, but yeah, other than that, it doesn't give me enough of an edge to really focus on it. Yeah. Yes, yeah, exactly. Let's get those likes up, guys. It's Friday. Let's go. Yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, stop. I mean, it's just stop. Okay. Wait, so Raj, did I post the wrong one in my own Discord? Did I post the wrong link? I just see your message. Keep trading. Yeah. Candlestick is like GUI for trading. Pro traders. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I know a lot of, like, I know a lot of good traders that they don't use order flow per se, right? So I don't think it's per se true. So yeah, it depends. I think it's more about having your own set of rules, being able to keep yourself to it. Don't go on a revenge trading streak or tilting, things like that. I think it's more like that. I think that makes people more like a pro, avoiding those kind of things. Or know when to stop when you feel it happening, because we're only human, right? So I still have tilt days. I still have things that I break rules. I'm just able to spot it sooner and then cut myself off, right? So it might still be a loss, it might still be a bad day, but I know quicker, not eliminate it, but I know quicker when not to do it. Right? So yeah. Do you use TPO charts for only volume profile? No, I don't use TPO. I've done the course from Dalton like many years ago, and to me it doesn't give me anything extra than the volume profile already does. Plus, on the volume profile, I have like the candlesticks on it that I also like, with a longer time frame. So for me, it didn't do much. We are gonna build it, and I still want to do a focused TPO live stream or meeting, live brainstorm session, so we can build it as well. So we do have plans to build it, because a lot of people want it. But personally, I don't see the value in it. Don't be mad at me. No, because everything I need is in the volume profile. So the time factor that TPOs give you, yeah, for me it doesn't add too much, personally. Yeah, that doesn't mean that it cannot give you an extra edge if you know how to use it the right way. Yeah. Okay, so there's a new link. I sent out the wrong one. I didn't. Oh no, that's the link I had. No, that's the link. That's the link I had, Raj. Give you the wrong link. Okay, well, all right. I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, back to the comments. So I only use one profile. Yeah, but like I said, we are gonna build the TPO, but we want to make the best TPO ever. So we want to make it together with you guys. So we want to do a meeting with everyone together and then go through what the best TPO would be, and then we're gonna build it. Yeah, and I want to do that soon. Maybe you can do next week. We could do a meeting like that, or the week after. Yeah. Yeah. So last Friday, someone asked that too. Like, I mean, it doesn't. Well, it matters and it doesn't matter. So your win rate doesn't define your profitability. So, like, like I could have a 99% win rate and still lose. If like if I take one tick profit and I risk 99 or whatever, some kind of crazy high number, I can still be very much losing money. And so it's all in context, right? So first you need to tell me, like, what is what's your setup like? So what are you risking to make? So if it's one-on-one, it matters a lot, right? If you trade one-on-one, you want to have a high win rate, otherwise you won't make a profit. But if I know a very good trader, and he has only like a 30% win rate, and he makes a lot of money because he lets it run really long, and he cuts his loser short, and when it goes his way, he just keeps it running. He lets it running. It's a swing trader, so it's multiple days sometimes, but yeah, so it's very dangerous, I say, to focus on a win rate. Mine is around 65, 70, 75 on a good week. It's around that. But like I said, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean if I'm profitable or not. It doesn't tell you anything about that, right? So I would not focus per se on that. I would focus on make the most money with the least amount of risk. I guess I would say focus more on. Oh, the giveaway is live, guys. Let's go. Yeah. Let's all get the giveaway. Let's go and get those likes up. Where was I? Oh, here. Yeah, win rate. So yeah, the win rate. Yeah, like I said, it's not super important. It's a combination of things, right? And the next comment that I'll highlight, it makes more sense in that, I think. So yeah, this one. Yeah, exactly. So the risk reward and the win rate. Yeah, so the combination of those two will tell you a lot more, right? So if you know your risk reward, then you can optimize your win rate for that and try to work on that. And if your win rate is not going to improve, then you can improve your risk reward to still get that profitability there. So yeah, so it's a combination of those two things mainly. Yeah. And but let's say you have a 50% win rate, then then let's forget about commissions. Then you would be break even at a one-on-one risk reward, right? So the only thing you have to do is to be profitable is try to get your win rate to 1 to 2. So yeah, that should give you a sort of a path of where you should work on. And I don't know where you're at right now, and what your risk reward normally is, but yeah, the combination of those two is what you should focus on. Yeah. But sorry, you're indeed the giveaway. Let's go, guys. Yeah. Yeah, I use the Dome to trade, so I click orders in the Dome. So you know, so I use the Dome all the time, because also I like to. So I don't care too much about the historical orders, right? So I can see them. The histogram will pop up anyway if there's a big order, and I will see it changing when if they remove it. So in that sense, I don't need the bookmap kind of style with historical data. I can see it already, and these are here. Like, these are the current bids, and here are the current asks. I can see that. So I do focus on it, but I only care about it when they're closed. So so when they're closed, I either, if I'm already in a position, for example, like I want to front run a big order, right? That's why I usually, my exit orders are usually at the 0.75, not at the whole number, because normally at the whole number there's more contracts, because people tend to place their orders on the whole number, and I want to front run that at least, so I know that if it's going there, I'll get filled. And that was more important years ago than now, because the books are super empty. But still, I'll still do it. It's just a habit. But and if I'm bidding, I'm bidding a quarter, and I'm not bidding the even number, because the even number might not fill me, because it's too many orders there. So unless I'm in front of the queue, I might not get it, right? So I always try to bid the 0.25 instead of the whole number, if it's the level I want to enter. So yeah, in that sense, I watch the Dome, and I watch the order sizes that are there. And also in this Dome, it's sort of like a mini footprint, right? So it's like in the middle, you can see things that are executed, and it resets over a certain time. So yeah, it gives you a little bit of an inside view, of like a micro view inside of the footprint, and it's easier to spot icebergs, things like that, or just in general, people. You can see people like holding it, and yeah. So for that, I use the Dome. Yeah. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, and let's get it, guys, the giveaway. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so the general subject was like order flow, right? It's again, it's personal. I think it's worth it for sure. But there's a few things that matters, right? So one, it has to fit your personality. If you are looking at it and you think like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I looking at? Like, what are those crazy numbers? And not wanting to put in effort to learn it. Well, then it kind of, tells you the answer already. Then you should not go for it. Then you should stick to maybe either candlestick patterns or whatever you want to do, or anything you can do, like RSI, MACD, whatever you think you can give you an edge, or whatever, things like that. I've tried that. For me, it didn't work, or I didn't find enough value in it, and therefore was not persistent enough to learn more about it. But for me, order flow just really clicked, and I think that's also kind of what it should be a little bit. If you think, yeah, this makes sense, this has some logic in there, this can explain some certain things that how people react to the market. Yeah, then I think you're on the right track, and that might be for you. And then you should go and study it, right? So yeah, in that sense, order flow, I think it will help you if you have the time to really learn it. Um, and okay, and immerse yourself with it. So I asked this question because my biggest problem with the footprint is that I don't really know where to place my stop losses. Well, it's very easy to know where you place your stop. It's like how much you want to risk. So if you know what you want to risk, then you go down to like, oh, so what could my max size be with that, right? So let's say you want to do okay, well let's say right now your settlement, I think maybe it's going to bounce. Well, seems less likely, but like let's say I'm gonna go long. My plan is to go long 44. Let's say that. Say that. So where am I wrong? Probably I shouldn't give it that much. It should either bounce or it's not working, right? So let's say at 39, I'm wrong for sure. So I need to risk 5 points. And so 5 points, with one ES is 250. So if I don't want to risk 250, then I can go for micros and I risk 25. Do I want to risk 5 points, but I want to risk 50? You take 2 micros, right? You want to take 5 points of risk and you want to risk 500, you take two minis, right? So you can, calculate your way back into what your sizing should be and then where your stop is want to be. Do you want to risk 10 points all the time and say like, yeah, I want to risk 10 points because 10 points is also going to be my target? For me personally, that would be way too much, but it's possible, especially if you're trading a little bit longer term. Let's say 10-point stop. So with a 10-point stop on one ES, you're risking 500, right? So if that's too much for you, you go to the MES micro and you risk 50 per 10 points, right? So that's kind of how I would do it, into looking at where you want to, place your stop and what you want to risk, because I think those should be going sort of hand in hand. You don't want to risk 2 points on ES, because I do that often. It's very, very tight, especially with this volatility. It's really, really precise. You ideally you can give it a little bit more room, and especially if you're newer with this, I'd say. So yeah, but also if you're new to it, I would just try to paper trade and then just see what it does for you, with your setups, with the ads that you have yourself already, or maybe with something else. Do it with that, and then calculate back in the end what your risk should have been, and then where you would have been safe. That can be your stop, right? So yeah, I think there are certain ways to do it. Like here, you have a big order here, right? So you can see that, right? 600 bit, and they didn't tag it because it's too big. So that's why I'm saying, like, this is a perfect example here of why I'm bidding the quarters and not the whole number, right? Even if my bracket was at the whole number, I would put it to 0.25, because it feels quicker, because here you have the big order. Can you see it? I don't know. Let me try to make it bigger. So you have the big order at 41 even. It didn't fill, but you would have definitely filled at the quarters, right? That's the kind of examples that I mean. Because then it's 2 points up already. You're like, I was like 4 points in profit now, and I gave half back, and it came one tick for my target. And that's just annoying. And I would just bid the quarters, just because I fill earlier. Not always, but in cases like with big orders, for sure. And also it comes back very often as well, and I'll blow through it. But yeah, but you probably would have trailed it out already, like, oh, okay, I'll go out. So, and that's just reality of like, yeah. So when I get out on that retest, they just take you out and then fill it again. So either you're super patient, which I am not, or you just bit the quarter. This won't work every time, guys, but this was just a real time example that I thought was interesting. You know. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have it on the beta. We have it in beta right now, but yeah, there's not a huge pressure yet to put a focus on, honestly. But yeah, we have it in beta running. I'm pretty sure. But the thing is, it's similar to the reversal bars. It requires pure tick data, and it's just a lot of tick data to load, similar to the reversal bars. But yep, yeah, we will add it. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, how do you guys like the new UI layout on the charts? So the chart trading you can turn it on from the top bar. The trading accounts are now on the side here. I think it's pretty nice. A little bit more clear, maybe. Hopefully. It's not in live. It's not in production yet, by the way. This is a beta version, but yeah, been working on that a little bit. What if you have an active evaluation? Can you still win the giveaway? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Raj, but I'm pretty sure you can. In this example, you take no. I wouldn't take a long position because I'm done trading, so I have no opinion anymore at this point. I'm out of my trading time frame. I'm not allowed to trade anymore, and this would just be pure hypothetical for me, and I would not take it. No. Yeah, but so I would short into the settlement maybe even here, because it broke down. This is kind of sort of a good low maybe, but I might still retest, because it's, kind of, yeah, I don't know, sort of weaker maybe, unless they go back right away. But I would short into the high volume from yesterday, and then see how far it can go, like here, like settlement and volume. So it's right where they installed it right now. So I would short it, honestly. And then, probably for a scalp, I would get out probably like here already. Well, I would have been out already. It's 2.3 points. So let's say 44.75, 41.75. So it's 3 points. Yeah, I would have been out here. Yeah, I would have tried that if it was in a normal in my trading time frame. Yeah. So you scale out here and then hold a runner and then put the stop to break even. So now try to get it to here, to 39 quarter. Retest at the low. Yeah, so that would, yeah, I would short it. I would not try to long it there, honestly. But like I said, like it's out of my trading. Would have been a good short though. I'm back to trading Fridays, guys. Like this time, yeah. Clearly it works. Do you support a Dutch football team? No, man. I don't. I'm not into football at all. I like Formula One though. Max Verstappen. Yeah. No, football not really. No, I'll stick to Formula One and tennis a little bit, I guess. But yeah, late again. Oh man, yeah. Go sit in the corner. But this short makes sense, right, guys? Like it broke down below the VWAP. Retest settlement ish, like RTH mid volume area from yesterday. Settlement volume. And yeah, that's where it stalled. So yeah, thought it was a pretty nice example then. Yeah, replay it is. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, this makes sense too. So that's where I said, like, if you were like, look at where your stop needs to be, and then look at where your stop needs to be, and then calculate back at what your sizing can be. If your stop needs to be 8 points, you're either good with risking 400 per ES contract, or 40 per micro, or and then calculate your multiples of that. Yeah, so I agree. That makes more sense. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that makes more sense for sure. No, I agree. Darts. No, I'm not really into darts. I mean, watch it sometimes. When I'm with my parents, I sometimes watch it with my dad, but not really big fan. Although I have to say, when I was at the prop firm in Amsterdam, we used to play darts in all the breaks. We had our own dart boards, and I bought my own arrows and things like that. We used to play a lot of darts. That's true, but it's like that's years ago now already. But yeah, we did used to do that. Yeah, that company blew up, by the way. Yeah, that company. One trader took out the whole company overnight. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Sometimes. Did you miss the giveaway? I think you can still enter. I guess I'm not or not. I don't know. I'm guessing you can still enter. I don't know. Just try it. Let's let me highlight the link for you. Yeah. Discord.gg. GG. How you say that? GG. / the futures desk. I'm pretty sure you can join. But yeah, it's on Discord. Yeah, it's on Discord. So yeah. Yep. Cool. Yeah, so here I would maybe try along if I was doing anything, because we're testing the RTH open. The open is always a little bit of a thing, I'd say. So I would have tried 35s here. Let's say you did that, and okay, well, that worked. 39. So that's what I would wait for at least, but volume wise, didn't see too much. I guess I would look at this highest volume here at it is 35s, but yeah, just because this open is a little bit off, by the way, because it's using reversal bars. This is the real opening price, 35s. But yeah, so 35s, that would make sense to try maybe, and then you can say, okay, it needs to either work or not. So I'm just gonna do a 2-point stop no matter where it is, or a 3-point stop, I guess. 2 points is very little these days. So 3 points, and I need to make at least 3 or 6. Scale out 3, other one 6. So 35, 41. So that's what I want to see. 35 to 38. 38 scaled out already. Then that's how I would do it, I guess. If you want to do anything, but again, it's not a setup for me. I'm also not training it, but that's sort of how I would do it. I guess calculate your way back on what you want to do and look at some reference points and something like that. But honestly, it's not that strong anymore. So strong in the morning. That's it. Yeah, NQ did not sweep the structure. Yeah, so I normally have NQ on. I'm on a beta version right now, so this is not my full setup. So not all the charts that I use all the time, but yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, cool guys. All right, it's almost an hour already. Time flies, guys. You guys are so much fun. Yeah, I hope you guys have some fun plans this weekend. I hope it's gonna stay dry here. I doubt that, but let's see. Still gonna look at the beach, but maybe with a nice jacket on. and pray for spring starting soon. But anyway, yeah, I think an hour is long enough. If you guys have some questions, let's go for it right now. And otherwise, we should go to the giveaway, I think, in a minute. Or is it only going to be in Discord, not on the stream? I'm not sure, but I will find out in a bit.
The giveaway is only in Discord, but it's live right now.
Okay, it's only in Discord. All right, thank you. Cool. So yeah. Cool, guys. Well, if you guys are going to be silent, I don't know if you remember 6 days ago, I asked for what advice you would give to a beginner on traders. Just want to say thanks, making progress. Cool, nice, very good. Very good, very good. Keep it going, yeah. Keep it going, and don't get bogged down by things not going well. There will still be periods that it won't go well, and then periods that it goes well will follow. It just got to keep going. Got to keep going. Got to keep learning. Learn from your mistakes, and try not to make the mistakes again that you did, or less. Try to make them less. I think it's probably a better way to say it, because I still make mistakes, obviously, but I try to make them less, or less big. Try to make less big mistakes. But yeah, good to hear. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Cool. Very nice. Very nice. Cool, guys. Yeah, I think I'm kind of done, I think, for the week. Yeah, it's like it's 6 p.m. here now. Friday evening started for me, so I think I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. Bring your questions. Always happy to answer them, and have an amazing weekend. bye.